All right, everybody, so let's talk about a question that I've seen being asked. I think it's kind of a hot topic now, one of the hot topics anyway, and that is the question of Vipkid hiring Chinese teachers to do our job. Are they doing that? And you guys are gonna think I'm crazy when I give you my answer, and make sure you stick around towards the end so you can see a video that will show you what I'm talking about. But before I get to that, I just want to put out there, like, should we even really care? I mean, honestly, should we really be pining after this company like some, jaded lover? That is a question to really ask. I don't know if it's really, healthy to do that. Most people should really move on with their lives and find other avenues of employment. And me myself, I'm honestly not bitter about it at all. I'm more like glad that it happened, and really, really happy that I got to be a part of this, really unique thing, this really special thing in the moment. And, it was just a fantastic thing to really experience. But, so you might be asking, well, if you don't think we should be going on about it and we should let go, then why aren't you doing that? Well, here's the thing, to be honest, there's so much that I've wanted to talk about and tell you over the past months, years even, and I know it just wasn't the time and place to do that. And I feel like now, to some degree, it is the time for that. I've sort of been waiting, if you will, for the moment to arrive, if you will, and I do enjoy making videos about what I feel is a really special moment in time, a cultural phenomenon. I always felt that way from the moment I first saw it, and I was like, man, I want to write about this, and it would be cool to someday make a documentary about all this and to tell people about it. And because no one would understand unless you were a part of this, and it's been a special thing for the entire ESL community in China anyway. So, with that being said, let me go ahead and get to the question here, get to the big question of the day. Yeah, I think they probably will be hiring some Chinese teachers to teach our classes and to take over, but I don't think that's all they're going to be doing. We'll talk about that real quickly first of all. So now, before I really get into anything, I think this is all, I don't want to sound too much like a conspiracy theorist. The whole MOE regulations, I think it's just something that happened. Had it never happened, I don't think, we might have kept going on forever or longer, or who knows how long, So that was kind of something that, that's not something Vipkid did. If they were to switch over to something like that, the thing is that's not really their market. That's not what they've been pushing out there to parents. That's not what they've been advertising for years now. They've been saying, our product is superior and costs more because we use native English speakers. They're gonna, that they're gonna be better for this reason, and that they're, let's just think about this for a moment. If there was already a market in China for a cheaper, one-on-one bilingual Chinese person to teach someone English, wouldn't that pretty much already exist? In fact, I bet it does already exist to a degree. Vipkid would be jumping into something that they would already have plenty of competition with. Their game was the high end. We have, these native speakers, these American, teachers to teach you. And so I don't know how well they would do with that, frankly. And I wish them luck and everything, but I don't think they're just going to switch over and all the Vipkid customers from before are going to go, yeah, we're good with having, this, maybe it would work, and they probably are going to do that to some degree, but I think they have another trick up their sleeve. I really do. I think they have another trick up their sleeve, and this is where you guys are going to think I'm crazy, and I'm going to show you a video here in a second that'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. But I think, like I said, I think these MOE regulations, wasn't something they could control, but I do think that they knew a little more about it than they were letting on. Now remember, these have been coming down the pipe for a couple of years now. Since 2019 at the latest, really, they started to come down, and you're like, whoa, the MOE, you know, they're kind of cracking down on what we're doing. And people didn't make a big deal about it, but it was a big deal. And I'm pretty sure that some of the people involved with Vipkid, probably the CEO, maybe some of these big, you know, money investors, Tencent, I think they probably had a little bit of a heads up or knowledge or even just enough intelligence to be able to kind of navigate the storm and see where things were headed. And I think what they've been doing now, I don't want to take complete credit for this, but you know what, go ahead and just watch this video and then we'll talk about it.
张哥，你在3分钟后有一节英语课。
这里还有一个 AI 的辅导老师在左下角，叫孩子们学习中文呢，要提醒他，哎，别跑开啊，回来啊，因为他发现他不在里面了啊。好，这些也只是一个简单的例子，让大家看到。
Okay, what do you think of that? They didn't show us that in the weekly teacher update, and so Vipkid, and I don't want to take complete credit for this. I want to tell you about a guy that, oh gosh, probably 4, maybe 5 years ago, this guy named John Vault made what I thought were incredible YouTube videos. His channel appears to be gone now. I never really heard about him in the mainstream communities from people, but I learned a lot from him, actually. I actually studied him quite a bit. He wasn't a referral person at the time or something, and I ended up not using him as my referral guy. But anyway, I thought his videos were great. And he talked a lot about AI, and he would, he basically predicted all this. He predicted everything that I'm telling you. And so, I can't take credit for all this, but man, the stuff he was saying like 4 years ago, he was showing articles and different, things where he was showing that Vipkid was investing heavily in AI technology for education. And there were articles that you could find now if you just Google it. You look up Vipkid and artificial intelligence, AI for education, AI in the classroom, Vipkid. They were into this before they even talked about it. That they thought that AI would be the future of the class, basically the classroom. And so the technology already exists where they can basically analyze all of your data. And Vipkid probably has the largest repository of ESL data in the world. They hired all these teachers, and that's data. That's data. They own it. They have it. They have millions of hours of recording, hundreds of millions probably. I don't know. A 30-minute class times however many classes have been taught that they recorded. And at one point they weren't recording them, but they're recording them and storing all of that as data, okay? And they have massive computers to do all this stuff. They've been investing heavily into this AI technology. They have Tencent there helping them, which they have basically, like huge cloud computing infrastructure to go along with this, and just imagine it. You can have this perfectly programmed AI that has basically has all this data. It could be male, it could be female, it's never late, it's never sick. It knows all your best teacher tricks, every little trick that you have that you use to engage the student, to make them laugh, to connect with them. It knows all of that. It's studied everything. It knows your best jokes. Not only does it know your best jokes, it knows mine. It knows all your teacher friends, Nancy Taylor's, anybody that you think of that's ever been on the platform. It is able to analyze that and come up with the perfect Western accent. It can analyze the students' enunciation, pronunciation, their mouth movements. It can turn into the kid's favorite cartoon character if it wants to and start talking to them. It can turn different directions, make a super close up of its mouth to show its mouth moving, while it's also looks like a human. Basically, it's future tech to teach the kids, and I think that's what you're really going to see, and I think that's what's kind of been the plan for a while, that they've had this in their back pocket. Now, they didn't plan on COVID-19, and they didn't You know, they didn't make the MOE, do this, and that wasn't their plan. But I think that they knew it was coming and knew that they needed to invest in this. They'll be able to charge a lot less for classes because the AI won't have to be paid. It won't have any problems. They won't have to have a journey for it every 3 months or whatever to keep it happy. No need to send it dynos. All of that can go directly to the consumer. You don't have to worry about any labor base anymore. Not only that, you're able to then expand it all over the globe, basically. And these, I think that's a big part of it. I can get into more of that later, and maybe we will. I'll make some more videos about it, and we'll talk a little bit more about the AI side of things later. I don't want to bore you too much in this one, but let me know what you think. A lot of you guys probably think I'm nuts for saying all this stuff, and maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't know. This is one of those things that probably seems a bit out there, a bit far-fetched, and I thought it was too when I heard John talk about it 4 years ago. And I'm like, dang, I wonder, I bet he was right. They've got a plan. And yes, look it up a little more. I'll make another video soon strictly about that. Really, I was just kind of answering more towards the Chinese teachers. I think they're probably going to hire some to take over, but I don't think that they're getting rid of all us just so they can hire Chinese teachers. I think that it's a little bit more than that. And, again, I think some, teachers will stay on, probably to do adult classes or different things, but not 100,000, not 70,000, not 50,000, not 20,000. I would be surprised if it's more than 5,000, to be honest, but you might be one of the lucky ones, or do whatever your little heart really desires. But anyway, nice talk. Let me know what you think about my crazy conspiracy theory, and we'll see you here on the next one.